Hello and Salam Malaysia Madani. You are watching On the Table. I'm Vimala Kasturi Virasamy. An electric vehicle or EV is a vehicle that uses a battery to power the motor, reducing or even eliminating the use of fuel during driving. The term electric vehicle includes different types of vehicles such as battery electric, hybrid electric, and plug-in hybrid electric. A battery electric vehicle or BEV is the type of vehicle most people think of when they hear the term electric car. Instead of a petrol or diesel engine, a BEV uses an electric motor powered entirely by rechargeable batteries. Hybrid electric vehicles or HEVs, often simply called hybrids or marketed as self-charging hybrids, also use both electricity and a petrol or diesel engine. A plug-in hybrid electric vehicle or PHEV combines an electric motor and battery with a traditional petrol or diesel engine. An EV is made up of many different parts, with the battery being the largest component in a fully electric car. Most modern EV batteries use lithium as it can store a large amount of energy while remaining lightweight. Overall, EVs can help improve fuel efficiency, lower fuel costs, and reduce air pollution, while also supporting public health, benefiting the environment, and contributing to a more sustainable transport system. Did you know the national post and parcel service provider Post Malaysia currently operates Malaysia's largest electric vehicle fleet among logistic providers, comprising 1,252 e-bikes, 279 e-vans, and 27 three-wheelers. To learn more about how EVs compare to traditional vehicles and how they are transforming Post Malaysia's operations, let's hear from the Group Chief Executive Officer of Post Malaysia.
And it's really, really relevant. I mean, if you think about Post Malaysia, wonderful 200-year plus history, but significant transformation over the last sort of 4 or 5 years. When we started our sustainability journey back about 3.5, 4 years ago, we looked at obviously what is the cost of any one of the 6 work streams that we have. So the total cost of ownership, and most of your viewers who are watching who drive EVs will know this, the total cost of ownership of an EV typically is significantly better than the cost of an ICE vehicle. So in our case, for our bikes, we have a lot of bikes on the road, we have a lot of vans on the road. I think we're one of Malaysia's largest fleets. We see a saving by using EVs of somewhere between 25 all the way up to 50%, depending on which vehicle type it is. Customers love it, so customers are looking to use greener delivery systems, cleaner delivery systems. The plan is that by 2030, we will be 100%, all of our vehicles will have moved to electric. By the end of this year, we'll be around 2,900, so almost 50% of our fleet will have moved to electric. I think Malaysia has a plan to have 20% of its vehicles electric by 2030. So number one, clearly we're helping to achieve and attain that target. I think it's a great target, by the way. Number two, and to your question, given our plan is to be 100% by 2030 from a vehicle perspective, 100% converted by 2030. It doesn't matter whether it's Johor, whether it's Kedah, whether it's Terengganu, whether it's Sabah or Sarawak, all the relevant will convert all of our vehicles to electric over the next 2-3 years. I'm still relatively confident that we'll do what we said we were going to do, which is it will be 100% net zero by 2050. My message to the audience is don't look to the government to necessarily provide solutions or templates or transformation programs. There's so much you can do personally in your own personal environment and or professionally to make a significant difference. And the way we look at it, capability and cost. So do you have the capacity to move the agenda forwards? Again, I invite any of your viewers, if they want to come and learn from us in terms of what we've gone through over the last 2 or 3 years, how we pick vendors, how we worked out how we can make a significant difference from a sustainability perspective.
Electric cars offer three major benefits: cost savings, environmental impacts, and superior driving experiences. When we talk about savings, electric cars could potentially help save costs. Lower maintenance costs are another attraction. On another matter, EV cars still produce less than half carbon dioxide emissions that standard petrol cars do. Stay with us, more after the break.
Tutup tingkap dan pintu untuk kekal dingin dan lebih jimat.
Welcome back. Earlier in the program, we shared various facts about electric vehicles. Now, let's hear directly from an EV owner about their experience using an electric car. Take a look.
I think I save a lot of money in terms of fuel consumption, and I think it's very easy to charge it, and I think I also doesn't waste any time while waiting for charging because the facility are everywhere. I normally spend my weekend in a mall, and then I can just charge it and can utilize it for the whole 1 week. It's about 50 to 60 ringgit per week. So in a month, it will be about 250 ringgit. It's way cheaper compared to my fuel, I think.
Saya beli kereta EV ni dah lebih kurang dalam 6 bulan dah, 6 bulan. Sebab saya rasa EV ni lebih pada mesra alam lah. Mesra alam, kemudian jimat dan dari segi apa, dari segi power tu lagi lebih lah daripada kereta biasa yang petrol ni. Tapi bila dah pakai EV ni, saya rasa dia punya powerful tu lebih lagi. Dan dari segi apa tu, kita keluar wang pun jimat lagi lah dari kereta EV.
In Malaysia, the electric vehicle industry is continuing to grow with more automakers introducing new EV models to support a greener and more sustainable future. Among the new models gaining attention are the EMAS by Proton and the QVE by Brewer. These vehicles reflect Malaysia's push towards cleaner transportation while also making EV technology more accessible to local consumers. Proton's new energy vehicle arm, Pronet, is seeing this trend reflected in purchases of its Proton EMAS models, with buyers ranging across various age groups, household sizes and driving needs, signalling a growing shift toward everyday EV ownership. On 30th of May, more than 20,000 Proton EMAS vehicles are now on Malaysian roads, signifying considerable progress in the brand's acceleration of electric mobility nationwide. The achievement is driven by strong demand across the Proton EMAS lineup, led by the Proton EMAS 7 PHEV, which has emerged as Malaysia's best-selling plug-in hybrid model in 2026, year-to-date with 1,755 units registered. Since its launch in early February, the Proton EMAS 7 PHEV has continued to gain momentum, recording more than 6,500 bookings within just a couple of months. According to data, 75% of the EMAS 7 PHEV buyers are family men, majority aged above 36 years old and using it for their daily drives to work as well as for weekend road trips. 1st of December 2025, Brewer launched its first battery EV, the QVE, as part of its effort to develop a sustainable EV ecosystem. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the QVE, which stands for Quest for Visionary Electric Vehicle, was developed at a cost of 800 million ringgit and involved more than 100 local experts. He noted that under the new Industrial Master Plan 2030 launched on 1st of September 2023, Brewer was appointed as the champion and leader among local automotive manufacturers to develop the EV ecosystem. As the use of EVs continues to grow in Malaysia, many believe it is not just about switching from petrol cars to EVs, but also about transforming the country's transportation industry as a whole. The shift towards EVs is also seen as a way to reduce Malaysia's dependency on fuel imports, as the country still imports more petroleum than it produces. Now, let's hear from an analyst on the future of transportation in Malaysia.
It's all about how we can upgrade and capture the EV industry, become the ecosystem player. So here we are not just simply a manufacturer of the car. We want to be able to have the control over the battery assembly, the components, the autonomous driving, and also the charging facilities. Malaysia is considered quite quite a big country with regards to the implementation of EV cars. We still need to make sure in every state we have enough charging facilities, and that's actually one of the bottleneck we can see in KL. There are lots of EV cars, but once we go up north or east of the country, it's very difficult to find one due to the charging infrastructure that is not mature yet. Well, green energy is absolutely critical for Malaysia because we don't want to continuously depending on the fossil fuel energy, and Malaysia do have lots of room to expand on the green energy, such as solar power, hydro power, or even biofuel. And this is something that we have seen in the framework. But more importantly is the strategic implementation of this initiative, because it must be parallel with what we are having right now, and we also need to make sure we have upgrade our power grid to take into account this type of renewable energy. Yes, when we look into whether we are fast enough, we are moving, but we do not move fast enough because of some of the reasons, such as we still have majority of our energy infrastructures relying on the petroleum, gas, and coal, and we cannot simply shut down all these plants and switch to the renewable energy at a short notice. Due to this huge expenditure on this traditional energy, we have to shift cautiously, progressively, and of course we are talking about the fact that there is a need to be in a situation where economy of scale has started to give benefit over the long run, and when we want to achieve that kind of situation, we need to allow the industry to grow at the required steps rather than pushing the progress too hard. Of course, the immediate impact we can see if we started to promote EV or EV technology, we can see the reduction of the emission, which will help our plan to reduce the carbon emission as a whole. We have seen this how this has produced a positive impact in China when they aggressively moving towards the EV cars. But at the same time, we also can see a long-term benefit with regards to the over-reliance on the petroleum or diesel fuels. When we started to focus on the EVs, this will definitely attract high technology type of investment from foreign investors, and also when this investor coming in with the setting up of plant or factories focusing on high-tech products, then we will be able to uplift the quality of our people, our Malaysian workers, with the offering of more skill job that offers competitive salaries. So all this actually will provide a good, positive impact to our nation's economy.
Stay tuned, more coming up after the break.
Last 16 with a 7-4.
Barcelona has approved a plan to double the city's tourism tax beginning April.
Mission Marine Affairs and Fisheries Ministry. Yes, as Thailand as well. There are hiking spots in Mexico.
Thank you for staying with us. We have talked a lot about electric vehicles and their impact on the economy. But what about the charging facilities and supporting infrastructure needed to power this transition? As the number of EVs on the road continues to grow, the development of a reliable charging network has become equally important. Lembaga Lebuh Malaysia or LLM has been stepping up efforts to support the shift towards green energy by expanding EV charging facilities along highways throughout the country. Let's take a closer look at the initiative being carried out to support a greener and more sustainable future.
So we are supporting this government movement or government initiative to do a lot of EV charging station. Even though not only the Gentari, we have some sort like more of CPO like Charge EV and also the Charge Sini or everything. Here we have do our own support the government initiative for the EV. Our role is to ensure the Malaysian highways serve as a reliable EV corridors by providing high-speed charging hub and will eliminate the range anxiety, making EV viable voice for Malaysian and not just city dweller. 10,000 point charging. Now we are having about 5,100. Now we are chasing for another 4,200 point charging point. Now we have make sure everything as CPO and then the TMB, we have some sort of like collaboration to ensure this charging point will be implemented. We are coordinate with a multi-stakeholder effort involving Ministry of Works, our KKR or MOW, highway concessionaire and utility provider like Gentari, TMB, another national heart, and LM, EPTL. We are using EPTL as our system to speed up the deployment. This digital platform extremely technically approval and site selection, ensuring that we meet the target of DC direct charge, fast charging point toward each year. So we are targeting by this year we are targeting about 50 number of points in the highway system. Actually, we have do some in terms of survey, and then we do some in terms of how we choose the location itself. Their location we are exposed to the public, and then we do some lighting, provide with a CCTV, and then also we have a patrolling person or individual to do make sure EV charging station will be in safe and then will be maintained as well as needed by the user. We have a hard time to do this, and then we try to get as soon as much possible to this EV charger. But the only thing we have now, especially in Pedas Tinggi, we have a private reservoir and service area, and then will be complete by this July. There will be about 68 charging point will be ready for the EV users. Actually, we have this one very helpful, but yeah, we have to make it our infrastructure ready, and then those EV owner, car owner will be enjoy the facilities, and then don't worry about the range anxiety. Now range anxiety become the main problem for the EV car owner. Even though I'm also the EV car owner, so I feel, and then I know what the EV car feel needs. Then that's why I try to implement what I might concern about, the EV owner concerned about.
Now let's take a look at TNBX Sdn Berhad, a wholly owned subsidiary of Tenaga Nasional Berhad, established in 2017, provides smart and innovative solutions in renewable energy and energy efficiency for homes and businesses. As an electric vehicle charge point operator, TNBX delivers reliable EV charging experiences across the country with 184 charge points and counting. Its network features well-maintained fast charging stations across Malaysia, offering speeds of up to 480 kilowatts while also maintaining strong compliance with cybersecurity, safety and international standards. Among its key locations under the TNB Electron Charging Network are RNR Tapa northbound, RNR Gurun in Kedah and Wisma TNB in Shah Alam. Stay with us, more after the break.
Dalam dunia yang bergerak pantas, siapa yang benar? Di sinilah anda kembali kepada sumber yang diyakini. Reka letak moden, akses lebih lancar, ringkasan AI, chatbot interaktif, akses tanpa sempadan, portal berita RTM, benar, tepat dan dipercayai.
Shifting our focus to local updates. Malaysia's electric vehicle landscape is set for another shift following the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry's latest directives on fully imported or CBU electric vehicles. All full imported CBU EVs are subject to two main conditions starting 1st of July 2026, including a new minimum motor power limit of 180 kilowatts and above from 200 kilowatts. MITI said a minimum cost insurance and freight CIF value requirement of RM200,000 will also be imposed on imported CBU EVs. The ministry said the decision was made following the expiry of the special exemption period for the import of CBU EVs under the franchise AP on 31st of December 2025. However, taking into account that companies still have remaining stock, including existing stock, stock at the port, and stock in transit, MITI has allowed all remaining stock to be sold according to the regulations during the special exemption period. Electric vehicle EV adoption in Malaysia continue to show encouraging growth, with the total number of battery electric vehicle BEV passenger vehicles reaching 94,165 units from 2018 to date. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof said EVs are no longer just a global trend but a strategic necessity linked to investment, industrial competitiveness, energy security and the people's well-being. He chaired the National EV Steering Committee meeting at Menara MITI on 19 May, aimed at strengthening the development of the country's electric vehicle EV ecosystem. While Malaysia continues to grow its EV industry, many countries around the world are also moving quickly towards electric transportation. Now let's take a look at some of the latest EV developments from around the world. Chinese electric car maker XPeng expect to start large-scale production of its flying cars next year and of its humanoid robots in the fourth quarter of this year. President Brian Gu said he sees tremendous potential to increase cooperation with German automaker Volkswagen, which last month began mass production of its first EV model developed jointly with XPeng. XPeng has received more than 7,000 orders for its flying cars, the majority of which are in China, where the company is working on obtaining approval from the country's aviation authorities. He said the company will likely produce hundreds to thousands of robotaxis over the next 12 to 18 months. Sales of electric vehicles are continuing to grow strongly at a car dealership in Frankfurt, with a wide network of charging stations now available across Germany, including along major highways. Long-distance travel using an electric car has become much more convenient, even for journeys across Europe. Tesla chief Elon Musk said he expected fully self-driving cars without human safety monitors to become more widespread in the United States later this year after already being introduced in Texas. Musk also told that his rocket and satellite maker SpaceX was close to developing reusable rocket launch systems, a breakthrough that will cut the cost of space flights.
I think if you say 5 years from now, or certainly 10 years from now, my guess is, if you say like 10 years from now, probably 90% of all distance driven will be driven by the AI in a self-driving car. So overwhelmingly, it'll be quite a niche thing in 10 years to actually be driving your own car. The car will drive you. I think there will also be humanoid robots that are pretty much everywhere.
China's largest car exporter, Shahrir, is taking inspiration from two very different automakers, Toyota and Tesla, as it pursues expansion in Europe and beyond. Shahrir is considering adding production capacity in Barcelona, Spain, where it has a joint venture. It is also looking for more opportunities to share production facilities with European car companies. According to industry data, Shahrir sold 2.8 million cars last year, up nearly 8% from a year earlier.
One is make our products is high quality, and the other one is high innovation. To crush the young customer requirement, the crush some the low carbon policy for many countries, especially for European.
Southeast Asia's green economy is projected to grow from about $290 billion to $430 billion by 2030, driven by rising demand from EVs, data centers, artificial intelligence, and industrial expansion. According to the report, more than $540 billion in investments have been announced across Southeast Asia's power and EV value chains. However, there is a 35% gap between announced and realized capex, driven by grid bottlenecks, permitting delays, and fragmented market structures. And that wraps up this edition. Thank you for watching. I'm Vimala Virasamy. Take care.